Hello again. Welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to All the Mods 6. So, since the last episode, of course, I did quite a bit of building over the weekend. If you're on the Discord, you saw some pictures as I was working on it. I did do a bit of building, and today we're actually going to be doing our first batch of building on camera, because we're going to be starting kind of our first large build that's more than basically just a box. I mean, most of these are more or less boxes that we've built so far, but we're going to be starting our first build, and we're going to be kind of walking through it. That way, if you guys are interested in building something like that, you kind of have hopefully a pretty good grasp on the way that I went about setting that up. But we'll talk about that a little bit more in just a moment. I want to quickly walk you guys through the village. I did add a bit of decoration. That's been the main thing, more so than building, is just decorating, bringing our village to life with some barrel planters, some racks. You could see some frame slabs, coarse dirt slabs, added some grass and various flowers. Kind of wanted to give this a little bit more of a terrain change here. I did do the roads as mossy stone, stone, and gravel. Originally I had them as cobblestone, but I didn't like that as much. And I did play around a little bit with adding slabs and stairs and stuff to kind of make the stone feel a little bit more broken, but I wasn't crazy about the way it turned out. I'll probably play around with it a little bit more, but honestly I might just use something more like chisel to kind of break it up. Since we are in a modded environment, I feel like that might be a better bet. I did add a dock right out here. We will add some boats and remove a lot of this dirt, but this is going to be kind of plugged into the lake area that we're working on, and be a great place to do some fishing. Over here I did build the shell over the top of this, so it's basically just a big shell. But back in here I did make some singularity tanks, and so those are feeding lava in, because I knew we were going to be using a bit of lava. And then I added wooden shop signs, just trying to point out the stuff that's kind of interest. Glass item frames there from Quark. I've used a few of those this build, and then I used some spruce shelves just to add kind of like a little shop aspect, so people could come here and buy stuff. I mean, I know the blacksmith's probably not going to be selling flint and steel, but it's here just in case. And then over here we have just the stuff that we've gotten from mining that doesn't go into the forge. I did change this over to a drawer controller because it's a default recipe, so I figured why not. So the item pipes instead just feed over to the drawer controller instead of coming behind this. Now inside of here, this is, originally I was planning on turning it into a house, but I felt like this little area is actually more, this little part of the village is more for convenience sake, because it is kind of the start of our base and where we've been living and where we will live for some time probably. So I decided instead of a house, I was going to turn this into kind of like a crafter's guild hall. So we have our various different chipped workbenches in here, all except for two, and I'll show you where those are in just a moment. But we have all of these spread out, so if we want to do any work with chipped, we do have these, and then I've got basically blocks and stuff stored up on the racks in here. Now if we step out, our loom is out here, or one of our looms. We still have the loom that's up there. Our botanist workbench and our alchemy bench are also out here, as well as a bench saw and a jungle sawmill. So most of my kind of building related tables are off in this area, so it's really quick and easy for me to kind of come over here and do whatever I need to do for building purposes. Now if we come up and we step through here, we have some tomatoes planted just for looks more than anything, but we have another builder's hall, and this one is for crafting things related to our essences. So I try to keep at least one of everything in here and keep the block there, so I know which table to access, and that way it's a little bit easier for me kind of when it comes to bulk crafting, which I have been doing a lot of, and I'll show you an example of our bulk crafting in a moment. But you can see basically keeping things stocked and available up here, because as far as our essence related stuff like making jungle wood, making our stones, I tend to craft them a lot at a time and try to keep our drawers over there kind of emptied out to some degree, because we actually generate an absolute ton of essence. And even though I have void upgrades, I don't want to void too much. I mean, stuff like coal, I don't use that much coal realistically, because I've only been using that for making smooth stone and not for actually making coal. I've actually gotten all my coal from mining. So, and then up here, this is just basically more of like a defendable position. So if the village got attacked, archers and stuff could come up on top of this in theory, and kind of drive back the invaders, while kind of safe up here atop this building. And then if we head on down, I did decide, instead of pushing for refined storage as quickly as possible, because I find that refined storage tends to make things extremely boring. Refined storage 82, I don't want to push for them too quick, because then it's just like, oh, well, I have everything in here and I don't have to actually think about storage. I decided to divide things up into logical places. So this area here is where like food and crops are stored. I will probably upgrade to something better than chests, possibly cyclic crates, since they can store more. Over here is kind of miscellaneous junk that's stored in there. Over here in this little area, this is for mob related item storage. And if we pop down here, this is for kind of magical stuff. So I've got enchanted books and all that stuff, and mystical agriculture, some potions that we had come across, and this kind of stuff over here. Blocks are stored primarily in that building over there, metals in the forge, and so on. So I think I'm going to put off refined storage for a little bit and just have a little bit more fun with localized item storage, because with this pack being default recipe, I don't feel like I really need to have a centralized area, especially with our build being fairly simple as far as the different materials go, because it's primarily stuff that I've just bulk crafted, and decorations I've been kind of bulk crafting a lot of those as well. Our sheep do now have a new home, and so far this home has been safe for them. So I'm going to have to breed them, and I'll probably end up having pens for all the different colors of sheep, but for right now I just have the white ones, and theoretically this would be like the door for this, but I have to have the gates there, but theoretically this door would swing over, and close. But our hammock's moved over here, our altar is moved over here. We probably will have another altar, because I've got a couple places in mind where I'd like to have altars, but this one's just kind of tucked back in here, just kind of in the woods behind this kind of magical building. And then back in here, we have something I had mentioned I was going to build. We're going to have a proper mine within this series. I haven't ran the road to it yet, but I have dug down a bit, and this is where I've been doing all my mining since last episode. And so this just kind of winds down. I'm thinking we're going to have cart tracks that come down through here. I don't think we're going to push for auto mining really within the series too hard, because with it being default recipe, at least till in-game for the most part, there's really not much point, I don't think, in pushing for like super powered mining, and that kind of gives me a reason to actually have a proper mine down here, because we'll actually make use of it. So been kind of just digging this out and planning kind of where our mine's going to be, but I haven't started it really. But if we pop up here, we did have our very first Pillager Raid, which was swiftly defeated, but I decided to build them a little memorial, kind of hang their skulls, which of course I didn't get from the pillagers, but put their skulls up as a warning to future invaders. I haven't had any since then either. So, and then over here, our wither skeleton skulls have been placed atop these. We're going to have a lot of skulls in our base. It only makes sense. And then over here, this is where we're going to be working today. We are going to be building our first on-camera structure. It's the first one that's more than just a big box, more or less. So we'll be building our first structure over here. It's not all that big. It's only a 31 by 31. We will have some larger ones, but I think, honestly, I may change it, but I think a 31 by 31 is going to be sufficient size to make this look nice, be pretty decent, like stand out pretty well, and it should be sufficient size for what we're actually going to be doing within this building, which we're going to be getting into in the next episode or two. It's actually going to be a very, very big part of our base as we progress. It's going to be our power generation. It's going to be, we'll get materials from it. We will do farming with it. We'll be doing a lot of stuff with it. So we will probably start it next episode and then maybe resourceful bees in the following episode. I know I keep pushing them back. I already have a place planned out for some of our resourceful bees, but I do think I'd like to get into this mod, which I promise we will have a bit of fun with. So we might push resourceful bees off for a little bit longer. And if you hadn't guessed by this point, kind of the theme that we're going to be going with this build is going to be kind of Aztec, Mayan type structures and our civilization that's here. So we'll be using a lot of wood and a lot of stone, and then we will kind of decorate things with a little bit more precious materials, maybe bits of gold or cobalt, like blocks in places and stuff, just for looks, diamonds, emeralds, that kind of thing. I will probably set up gold seeds because I do plan on doing a lot with gold, but the other ones I think we could probably get by with just our mining to get those kind of blocks and stuff. So but today we are going to be doing, like I said, our very first build on camera. That way we can kind of talk through it and go through the process of actually building this. So if you want to build it, you can, but we are going to be building our very first kind of large pyramid type structure. Kind of like a large Aztec or Mayan type pyramid, not Egyptian pyramid, of course. And we're going to be building it up here. That way, this area is kind of raised, and I've still got a lot of landscaping to do around this. You can see where I've started it, but I haven't finished it. This is going to come on back, and then this is all going to get dug out, and then this will be kind of like a large lake with these little islands that connect via bridges and stuff. That will kind of be the heart of our civilization, and then these small little village type areas kind of dotted around that. So I didn't want to go too far off in this direction because this is where all these other biomes are. So this village is probably going to end about where the mine's at, and then this is going to we're going to kind of build out more over in this direction, and maybe a little bit over in here as well. So that's kind of the plan at the moment. And for our building, we are going to get out our builder pack. So this is what I've been using for building. I've been trying to keep these stocked. We have these 6 drawers. That covers the majority of our stone structure building, along with the bench saw. And even though we have the crafting stick, sometimes crafting stations are useful, so we're going to toss those down. And this simplifies building a lot because we just have all of our materials on hand, and these are all pretty much created with essences, so it makes it pretty easy. Okay, but that's going to be the very center of our 31 by 31 area, and we're going to bring this over. That's going to be kind of where the stairs run, and then of course we're going to want a border. So basically these 7 blocks in the center we're not really going to touch right now, because I'm thinking our stairs are going to come out a little ways and maybe start probably right in here or maybe a little bit further back for kind of the start of the stairs that lead up the pyramid. It's not going to go all the way up, but it's going to go up a little ways. And then I think we'll build a landing. So what we're going to do is right in here, this is where we're actually going to start building this out a little bit, and I'm thinking we're gonna try it like this, and kind of come up by 2 and then go over. So let's see, or actually no, let's come up 3 in fact, and then we're gonna go back by 2, and then that way we can get a little bit taller on this. And then we're gonna come up by 3, back by 2, and then come up by 3, back by 2. Let me cut that off. I'm going to see where we're at exactly. That's going to result in us kind of having this steep pyramid where we can kind of do some stuff on each little segment for some detail and stuff. I'm thinking some stairs and slabs and stuff, so we're going to try that. And then this is going to be, let's see, let's come over to the opposite end now. This one should be directly over from it, so we'll come up 3, 2, 3, like this. The main thing right now is we need to figure out exactly, whoops. We need to figure out the exact angle that we're going to be coming up this. I think that's going to be the most important for us right now. So that's going to give us still a lot of space. But we also have to make sure that the sides come in well. So that's 1, 2, 3, 9, 10. And we're going to come over 1, 2, 10. And then so we're going to come up right here and just see kind of where we stand with this right now. Like, make sure that we've got plenty of space coming off the corner. I think, like I said, I think this is going to be big enough, but yeah. That should be okay. And then if we come up one more set, let me go get some more mossy stone. This will be a little bit hard to navigate. We are going to mix in some other stone types just right now. It's a little bit easier just to use one. And this is going to be the stone probably that's the most common in this. So, and then we can vein mine that away because I don't want it like that. So we come back to, and then come back to, and that's starting from the same area. Yeah, that's probably going to be good. Wait a second, I didn't come back. I was wondering because it felt off a little bit. There we go, and then they're one diagonal. Yeah, that's as high as we need to bring it up. So let's come back down and go do the other side and make sure that this is the angle that we're going to want for this. So it'll be like that. Not a very large one, but I think I wasn't planning on this one being all that big anyways. And then we bring it in and we have that center structure in the middle that comes up another 8 blocks or so. I think it'll be pretty good in size. Like I said, we will be making some bigger ones, but those are going to be more like 71 by 71s or something like that, probably at the base. You know, the base has to be pretty big to get a really tall pyramid, but I think this is probably going to be pretty good. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So then if we come up, do the same thing on this one, like that, it's going to be pretty steep. I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and just build this bit out here so we can kind of get a better idea. I don't know, I think this will be pretty good once it's done. Let's go ahead and bring this in. And what we're going to do is just line this up like that. That way we can kind of get a feel for what it's going to look like once it's done. And I should have brought some scaffolding over. But we'll go ahead and do this one also. Because I'm thinking at the very kind of the pinnacle of this structure, there's going to be kind of a top building to it. Okay, and then this here will come around. It won't be very big, but this is going to be kind of the top of this. And we'll bring that through. Actually, probably won't have those blocks. Well, we'll have blocks there, but not those blocks probably. Or at this point, we might actually do a layer like that, I think. And this layer we can also go ahead and just run out like this, I think. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and connect this up. That way we can get kind of a full picture of this, minus the stairs that go up at the center point. So this is what it's going to be kind of like. Yeah, I think that looks good. With all the blocks ran, it doesn't look quite as steep. And I think once we add in some block contrast and we add the stairs, you know, kind of between this and kind of shape up this a little bit and make it a little bit more ornate, I think it's going to look pretty good. And then we'll have the stairs that run up because I want the middle of the stairs, because it's going to be 5 wide, and then have the kind of the rails or the borders of that staircase on the edges. So it's going to be 5 and then 7. And in the middle, I think I want to put some barrels and stuff like those planter barrels. And then we're going to have a landing that comes out maybe at that floor or something like that. A landing that comes out, and we can basically climb the stairs up to that point, and to reach the very top, we have to actually go inside and go up. It's kind of what I'm thinking. So I'm going to cut for just a little bit while I get I'll probably go ahead and run dirt around all of this, and I will probably go ahead and fill in the bottom a little bit. Then I'm going to go ahead and run the stone like this. Oh, and this pack does have chiseled, but there's not much in here though. So I don't think I'll need any of that for this build. If anything, it'll just be this, the weave stone. Because that's actually kind of cool, but the rest of it, I don't know. Maybe the cracked soft stone bricks. But okay, give me just a minute while I get the rest of these borders ran. Okay, so I got that ran, and I went ahead and did a 3 border of dirt there. Now, we do have a Pillager Raid. I don't think it's all that big, but we're going to go ahead, take these guys out real quick. Give me another ominous banner. There we go. They've been dealt with. Also, I meant to show you, I did get an obsidian skull. Between cuts, when I was down there mining, I ran across a mimic, and it dropped an obsidian skull. So we are going to go ahead, that goes on our belt slot, so we're going to go ahead and put that on. That way we have a skull on us, which is going to fit in even better with our style, I think. And then I did go ahead and I ran that for right now. That's not going to be the floor. The floor is going to go on top of that, but that gives us a good point to work from. Okay, so at this point, what we're going to do, let's get 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 3. And let's go ahead and get ourselves, let's get a half stack of stairs. It doesn't really matter which one of these we take, so we'll just go with that. There's a stack of those. Let's do the same thing for that and for that. I don't know that we're going to use a whole lot of smooth stone though. I think it'll mostly be, we'll throw in some of those, and we're going to get some mossy cobble, some smooth cobble. Yeah, let's put away the smooth stone. I don't need that for this part. So we got a bunch of blocks. Let me, probably won't need that. I'll just hold on to that pick, or let's go with that pick. And then let's fill up our inventory with, and now at this point what we're going to do, I am going to add some block variation to what we've already put in there. I'll do that in just a second, but I think what we're going to do is let's run out, just kind of mix it up a little bit. Mainly going to be stone bricks and mossy stone, but we are going to toss in some other stone types into that. And we're just going to bring this out flat. So just like that. And right in here, let's see, I'm going to try to run this from the bottom up because I think that'll be easier so I don't get stuck since we don't have flight at the moment. But I think right here, this is going to come straight down. Oh, it's going to be so awkward. I'll put that in just a second. And then we're going to put, come over to put that in there. And then right here, we're going to build out this a little bit. And we're going to do a block in right there. Yeah, actually, we'll go ahead and do this corner because this corner will be pretty easy, I think. We'll do that, and then we're going to come out. Let me get my stairs. I'm going to go with these stairs. Let's do that and like that. And I think that's how, I don't think I like just the regular cobblestone on this. I think we're just going to go, yeah, I don't think we're going to use the cobblestone for this. I think we're going to go with these 4 blocks and cut out the cobblestone. Mainly stone bricks. So the corners we're going to do like that, I think. And I could even do fire or something. We're going to add a little bit of things like that up here as well. And then right in here, we're going to go ahead and just, let's go ahead and just run the floor. Like that. And then we're going to put in our panels. I think we'll have our panels like that, and then we're going to run our stone out right in here. Yeah, and that's going to give us a good base layer, I think. And we're going to add just a little bit more stuff to that, but that's going to be the basis of this. Now, I'm not going to run it on this one, on the very middle on this one. we'll do we'll do all the middles here in a minute, because we're going to be putting a few things in the middle. So some of these will actually be covered, not all of them, and not all the way down, I don't think. I think we will have this part visible, but we'll see what we need once we get all this ran. So give me a minute here. I'm going to do this kind of design on basically all the way around it, and I'm also going to take some of the blocks that we've already placed and add a little bit of variation to those as well, keeping primarily with the stone bricks and mossy stone bricks, but tossing in just a little bit of the mossy stone and mossy cobble as well. Okay, I got all of that ran, and you can see I did leave a block space there. I think we're going to put something else, maybe a block of, you know, emerald, or maybe some chiseled stone. I thought about that originally, but I don't know. But we'll put something in there. I'm going to give it some thought. But I ran that all the way around and added some block variation on these blocks. And if we come up, this top section I changed up slightly by using mossy stone stairs and a slab. And then I think we're going to run a wall down there, like a stone wall, just right there in the center or something. And then at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to come out, say a couple blocks to like right here, and then we're going to bring stairs down at this point. Let's do that. And I think for the stairs, I think we're going to have more smooth stone, or more smooth bricks, not as much mossy, I think. And we'll just use cobble, because that way then we can vein mine that out once we're done running the base of this. Okay, so they come down to there. I'll probably make them come down. Yeah, we'll make them come down one more. So then this will step up to this layer. Yeah, that should be good. And then we just need to fill this in. And then let's go ahead and run 2 over and run some stairs up over here. We will have some stairs, I think, in the middle, but I think the majority of it's going to be decoration. So just like that. At this point, we can break these off also. Not the top ones, because I don't have the inside done just yet, but we're going to go ahead and just break off those. Break off all this cobble here. And that gives us a double set of stairs that runs all the way up. And then let's go ahead, kind of fill this in a little bit here. And that's basically how that's going to be laid out. Let me go ahead also and fill this in a little bit. I can go ahead and fill in this part as well. I've got to build basically this section here. I've got to put in the railing, which I think is going to be probably framed slopes, or just to kind of keep it blocky, we might go with framed stairs. We'll go ahead and just place out blocks, kind of get this started, and then go from there as we need to. So, and then I think the way we're going to do this, let me sleep real quick. And I think we're going to have this be like the first, let's see, the first 2, 3. Yeah, the first 3 will be stairs. And then I think we're going to do planter box, planter box, planter box, planter box. No, actually, let's do right here. That's going to be 3. And we'll have like a couple stairs there in the middle. And then, let's see. No, let's go ahead and just bring it up like that. And then right here, we're going to bring this out as a solid block. And I think that'll be good. And actually, I don't know why I filled this in, because I'm going to need a doorway right there. Let's go ahead and open up that. And let's open up that. Probably best to just go ahead and peel off all of that. And just kind of run that up. Then we'll have panels kind of come out right here, I think. Like that. And we'll go ahead and peel this off too. and do stairs right there. Okay. And that way we kind of have an entrance into this floor. And then I've got to kind of build the underbelly of this, and I think most of it is going to be comprised of panels. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to kind of set these back just a little bit. Where's my, oh, right there. So we'll just kind of set it in just like this. And right in here, we're going to bring these panels down. But we're going to leave it open because I think I'm going to do a pathway so you can kind of cut through underneath this. Oops. And we'll just pop up to this layer. And then we'll probably just run this over, I think. And then just run bricks to kind of close that off. And do the same thing on this side. Okay, so we'll kind of get it closed up like that. And then over to the other side just to wrap up. Okay, and then we'll just run this on back. So like that. And then over to the other side. Back like so. Okay, so there's our staircase in. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and run this down right here, and we'll put some blocks in. Okay, and then we can kind of just shape this up. And actually, while I'm down here, I'm going to go ahead and mob-proof this, just to be on the safe side. And we can actually open up this area right here, I think. And this area is actually going to step down to the bottom floor. So from this side, you'll be able to enter the bottom floor, and you'll be able to enter up there. And then we're going to have some other entrances scattered around to the bottom floor, and maybe some to this floor here. And just to add some detail on these walls, we might pull off, you know, a little bit of this and put in like stairs, just to kind of break this up just a little bit. And we can go down this and just add some stones that kind of stick out. That way it just kind of makes everything pop just a little bit more. Plus it makes it look a little bit more ancient, I guess, like stones are starting to come loose up here. So there we go. That's done. And then I'm going to do kind of the same thing. I'm going to go around with framed slab halves. Add some detail to the outside of this. And I'm also going to put some planter boxes in here and probably do the railings for this little area. And basically just add a little detail to this outside. So I'm going to cut for a little bit while I do that. And then I'll be back and we will add the top to this section here. And then we'll talk about the floors. We probably won't build out the floors, but we will talk about them. Okay, it's been a little bit. You can see that I have added a little bit more detail. Basically ran the frame slabbed edges along here just to kind of jut that out over the bottom. And I did shape up the inside of this a little bit and added some soul lanterns. I did add an opening over there. So if we come out and we come around, added this just to kind of have another entrance into this bottom layer. And I did switch the chimneys over there. I put campfires instead of just fire. That way we kind of have the smoke effect going. Just because it kind of makes that little area pop a little bit more. So I had originally made the campfires for over here, and I didn't like them, all that smoke pouring out. So I was like, I'm going to do them over there and do netherrack over here. I did play around with doing the planter boxes down the middle of the stairs, but I did not like it. It just didn't really fit that well. At least not for this temple. Maybe for one of the other temples that we're going to be setting up later, but not this one. I didn't like it much, so instead I just did kind of this jutted stone and some torches that come up. From up here, most of these floors are pretty much the same. So you can see I've ran frame slabbed edges there, just like I did on the bottom, and then I ran them around the top, and then I ran them around this campfire. Something worth noting is if you put one in here, it actually does not render this top, so that's why I cut it away. It really just didn't look very good, so I cut that away. And I did fill in all of this. We may add some more openings as we need to, but we kind of have to get inside to do that, and we're going to be doing the inside as we go because we're going to have separate rooms. We're not going to have these big open spaces. We're going to have separate rooms that kind of run through here, and I want to make sure that everything lines up nicely. So I know I want an opening there, and I know I want an opening here, but beyond that, I don't really know for sure for these floors. Now, there's another opening that I did go ahead and cut away. If we come around here, this one right here, I added an opening here because there's something in particular that we're going to be putting out here, so I did want to make space for that. But beyond that, I don't really know for sure. And then also, I was doing some thinking. I don't think I want a structure on the top. Originally, I was planning on just like an open air kind of structure with a roof on the very, very top. But I don't know. I actually kind of like the flat look on this one. But I'm kind of thinking of just having like an open air altar up there and maybe not putting anything up top. I may change my mind. I'm kind of back and forth. Like now I'm kind of like, maybe I do want something up top. I don't know. Alright, let me think for just a second here. Okay, yeah, I do think we're going to put a structure on top, or at least try it and see. So let's just bring this back, I think 2 blocks. And we'll do this on all the sides. And, oh, before I forget, also, the way that this is ran up is just like that. So the walls come down and kind of support this little area, this little overhang area. But let me get this ran back 2 blocks. I think that's going to give us plenty of room to have the top. So like that. And then what we'll do is have... let's just bring up blocks on the corners, I think, to get us started. And then we're going to go ahead and do stairs that come up on all sides. So just like that. Let's go ahead and just build this out kind of as like a floor. So just like that. And then up here, this is 5 by 5. Yeah, so we can put some kind of a little altar or something up here. It might be decorative, might be useful. It won't be big enough for like mystical agriculture, but maybe we could stick something else up here. Maybe something related to the mod that we're going to use in here, which I do think we're going to get into that next episode. And then we're basically going to come up right here. We will have to do stairs that come up on at least one of these sides. But once we get inside, we will actually dig that out. So we're going to have a staircase that comes up, maybe comes up to like right here, and then we can step up into this. So one of these little areas will get cut away slightly. I'm thinking like 1 wide staircases though, not super big on the inside. So we'll figure that out when once we get inside, which we'll be getting inside a little bit come next episode. So I don't want that one. I want this one. Let's go 3. I think 3 will be plenty high. And then here, we're going to go ahead and run out stone bricks. And we'll have these curve over. And we're going to go ahead and take some frame slabbed edges and just run these down along here just to kind of have it overhang over where the blocks are coming up at. And we still have to decorate this temple. I'm planning on probably having some leaves kind of draped over it, kind of like vines, you know. Maybe do some of that, and maybe do some banners on it in a couple places, and then just kind of miscellaneous decor. We've used a lot of stone for this build. That's why I wanted to get those essences of it. It just simplifies things so much, and just allows us to build kind of freely at this point. Okay, and then on top of this, I think what we're going to do is we're going to run another set of blocks, just so we kind of have this lip effect here. And so we'll just run these down just right on top of the stairs. And then I really wish there was chiseled mossy stone. I really wish that was a thing, but that's what we've got so far. And I'm thinking a flat top to this. And I also think we will probably do some stairs, maybe coming off of this, like there, and like that. And then maybe have slabs come across or something like that, but we'll see. And then for the top, oh, I love that. We're going to have to get that. I mean, I don't have any at the moment, any black sand. Oh, basalt. Through a crusher can get us black sand. That is something we might have to consider getting into. I really love that black chiseled sandstone a lot, and that would go really good in our build. I'll tell you what we could do, though, which I think will look pretty good. Let's make ourselves some stone brick chimneys, like a stack. Sounds great. And then let's get some mossy stone chimneys, like a stack. And let's make some vents. I think these are going to look pretty good, actually. And we'll do the cobblestone ones as well. It's going to be a lot more than I need, but I'll use these in some other builds. This isn't really their intended purpose, but they're going to look great, I think, for decoration purposes. So then what we'll do is we'll just run these out and kind of fill this little area in a little bit. I know this episode's getting long. We're almost done with what we're going to get done today. So, okay, so, oh yeah, that adds a little bit of detail. I really like those. I didn't think about that until just now, but I really like those vents. So we'll probably have to use those a little bit more. All right, and I think what we're going to do here then is just put slabs in. So just like that, and then we will run, coming off of that, we're going to have another layer here of our frame slabbed edges, and this is going to be pretty much the top of this, and then we're just going to do a flat top, and I think probably with blocks, just so it comes up. Oh no, actually I got another idea, and I could go through and break some of these slabbed edges after the fact, so we kind of have like parts where it's kind of broken down. Might do that, we'll see. So there's that, and then we will just add in a border that runs around here. Could always do stairs instead of slabs, but I think the slabs are going to be fine. I think they're going to look pretty good. And we'll do that. And then what if right up here, go ahead, run these around. I love these things, by the way, because they just let me kind of get a stair effect in places where I normally couldn't have a stair effect. Like with the railings there, I was able to have stairs that were just offset from the normal stairs. It's super nice. It really is. It does mean you run through a lot of stones, but with our build being as cheap as it is, it's not really a big deal for us. Okay, so we're going to do that, and then what if right up here we had fire? Fire, more fire. Because fire is kind of like our lifeline in this build, I think. Might even break this up just a little bit, and then we can have some stones kind of come up. So let's come down. Oh yeah, that looks a little bit better, I think. And then I might add a little bit more detail to the stones, maybe have a few stones jutting out, that kind of thing, with some frame blocks. And I feel like those, I'll show you in just a second. I mean, we still have a lot of decorating to do. Decorating is what generally takes the longest. Building tends to be a little bit quicker. Decorating, not so much. I feel like right here needs some stuff. So even if it's just like bringing this out, would probably be pretty good. It'll definitely add a little bit to it. And then at this point, I just kind of have to finish out roofs and stuff like, or ceilings and stuff like that. And build the staircase that comes up the side, and probably add just a little bit more decoration and detail, and just kind of cleaning up sort of things. But I think that's stuff that will probably just get added over time as things come up, and it's like, oh yeah, that probably needs something over there. Oh yeah, I think that's gonna bring it together nicely. I think I like that top part. I think so. I think it comes up a little bit high. I think it could do with maybe dropping down a block, but at the same time, I think it just needs a thicker, actually what I think it needs is thicker pillars there on the corners. So I might try something. Let me get some slabs, and let me try something really quick, and then we're going to wrap up, I think. Okay, so what I did was I brought up panels here, then a full block, then the stairs, and then slabs, and then brought out some frame slabbed edges there. And I think this might put us in a better spot. Oh yeah, the pillars were just too thin. They were too like stick-like. I mean, I think that looks quite a bit better. Plus, we got a bit more detail there with those framed edges. I think that will do it. And then we just have to do the interior and then just kind of decorate and add a little bit of detail here and there. But I think we'll be pretty good. So, like I said, we're going to be building this out as rooms. It's not going to be a big open space. So we're not going to build this out just yet. And instead build it to fit kind of our needs. Which we'll start into next episode. Also, I do think once I run the road up and stuff, I do think I'm going to run some bricks out around on the ground just to kind of give this like a feel of having a foundation, because right now it's just sitting on grass. So I will bring some bricks out around the edge of that as I do kind of the exterior here. So, but yeah, I know it's wrapping up point, a little bit past, but we had a lot to go over and a lot to do. So we're going to wrap up this episode here, and then come next episode we're going to get into a mod that's going to be a big part of our build and of our civilization, I think. So I need to vein mine that. I'll go over there here in just a second and do that. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. But I hope to see you guys next time. Until then, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys then.